Hello.
Sorry.
And welcome to Peeves and Qs. We're not starting over. I am your host, Mr. Red, and with me, Alex, and with me is Jody.
Hi.
Dwayne.
Hello.
And Deanna.
I'm the interrupting one.
They're the interrupting one. And this is Peeves and Qs, a podcast where we ask each other questions and talk about what's annoying us each and every week.
It's
Gross.
I hope that caught.
I hope that picked up. So we are going to start
for the record, that was not a fart. It
Yeah,
was just-
a stomach gurgle. We just had
Gurglage.
breakfast. We're going to open with our first segment, which is titled, How Are You Guys?
It's Groundhog Day.
It's Groundhog Day again.
You guys are weirdly excited about this holiday.
It's one of our holidays. We spend it together every year. We do something 1 year ago.
2 years.
2 years ago.
It sounds like it was very important.
It was very
Yeah.
important to me.
Right?
The two of we talked about this on the show, but we traveled to Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Pennsylvania Polka.
I mean, are you sure you actually
Yeah.
went?
Maybe I don't
Listen,
remember.
I drove the whole time.
And
so.
had the most miserable wet
Oh
cold
man,
time.
it was.
It wasn't wet. It was just cold.
It was. It wasn't wet because it was all frozen solid. It was ice cold. We were standing in the mud for hours. 3 a.m. We had to get there.
Was there until like almost 7 o'clock when the prognostication happens for about like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
and you're done. So.
You're there for such a long time for such a small thing, but then the buses show up. But there's only a few of them, and there's so many people that you have to like wait for them to go and then make their rounds and come back. You're standing there, freezing, waiting.
Visibly,
Yeah.
audibly hear like people's like teeth like
Yeah, no one's talking.
chattering.
Like, everyone got, like, all rounded up at 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's like when people start getting there, and like if you want to get close enough to see Phil, you know, like
Yeah.
it's like a mosh pit, like first come first serve.
Yeah.
Mm.
But it was cool in a lot of ways, and I'm happy
Awesome.
we did it.
Yeah, I'm like, I've done it. I never have to do it again.
Yeah, is that what it
so-
is? Yeah, just a one and done
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It is cool.
We might go again, but it wouldn't be for like years and years when we've
When I've
forgotten how
yeah.
bad it is. It's like having a baby.
And
Is
then
there a
boot liners with like rubber wellies or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Is there a VIP section?
Maybe if you were rich, you could be like, I'm sure you could like
It's
bribe
all
people
for
and be like,
press.
give you 20
Press,
bucks
like,
to
gets
move up.
closest.
So what you're saying is you need to start a newspaper before the next time you go.
Yeah, a newspaper in quotation marks.
Not a newspaper, because I mean,
All right,
Take
fine.
pictures.
like a news show, like the Weather Channel. They're like right there in front
Well,
because they have a camera.
what if you were like whatever, we're doing it.
Yeah. No, let's go into this more.
Okay. Yeah.
So how has your life been other than it's Groundhog Day?
Good. We all just went to the Queen
Yeah.
Laser Light Show last night.
Laser light show at a
At-
planetarium.
The planetarium, please.
Thank you. And it was a lot of fun.
It was. There were so many people there, which was awesome. It's, located,
It was almost packed. It was
Yeah.
weird.
It was.
located in Flint, Michigan, which, like, for a long time has been this ghost town, and we've really been, like, pushing people to get back in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was awesome to see so many people, but also my anxiety was, like, super high.
Seriously, we were sitting in the parking lot to go in, and just like there was a car that pulled in, and then the people got out, and
But there was, like, 5 people in that van.
Yeah, and then
like-
Jody was like, "Oh, those people are going in," and then like 2 more cars pulled up, and she started like panicking. She was like, "It's gonna be so full," and I was like, "For all you know, those are the only 3 cars that are gonna be
But
there."
it wasn't.
But it wasn't. It was
They were
pretty
all
full.
Yeah.
But we got pretty good seats. We were up front, which at a planetarium is not great because you have to be looking up, and
Yeah.
but
Kind of like the IMAX.
it's still
Yeah.
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 You don't want to be too close, but you don't want to be too far.
I had 2 fishbowl margaritas before.
You did, and
You
you were
were
in
a
rare
delight.
form.
That made my experience just awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I can't imagine, because, like, even I had nothing, and I was like, whoa.
As someone who is completely sober, I felt at times that I was falling up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can't imagine having any sort of liquor
Man, it
or
was great.
Drug,
pot
yeah.
or anything
Right.
in my system. I would have
Yeah, I don't
lost
know.
it.
I don't know how people do acid and then go to those things.
Oh my-
There's no way.
I think you just
Whoa.
transform. You just become.
Man.
You're just like a
transcendent.
blob, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People would be like, "Wasn't that cool?" And you're just like,
Yeah.
It was Queen music, so it was like, all of it was upbeat and like going and stuff. We, a few years ago saw the Pink Floyd one.
"Yeah, Dark Side of the Moon."
Which is like way more demure and like.
that one
mellow.
makes more acidy sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
that would like put it in a cool state instead of just like, my brain's broken.
Yeah, I like remember like. Because I had never heard this album at all, so I'm like
Dark
sitting
Side of
there,
the Moon.
and all of a sudden you can just feel your heartbeat just like slow down, and like just that like you're just like
Yeah.
zoned out watching.
It's funny because
the
the
show.
album starts with a heartbeat. So
Oh, it
Wow.
does. You're right.
So yeah, but that was a lot of fun. And then we went out to a bar. And then that was last night. And then we all met again here. So
it's been a
I feel
long
like I haven't been able to get away from you people, is what I'm saying.
You're welcome.
Thank you. But yeah, it has been so freezing cold.
Stupid cold.
How cold
How
is
cold
it?
is it?
God.
It's been so cold that we've been freezing.
It is colder here than...
It's so cold that the line from my sump pump froze,
Yeah.
forcing the sump pump to spray water into the air because
Uh-huh.
it had nowhere else to go, and therefore I have a skating rink underneath my front porch.
So that's what we're doing this afternoon. We're going skating. No.
Yes.
No. For those in the future listening, this is back when like Chicago had to like light their train tracks on fire so that the trains would go.
Polar vortex.
Polar
Vortex
Vortex 2019.
Yep.
I don't know if this happens anywhere else, or I don't know if this is news anywhere, but there was a power plant, a natural gas power plant that caught on fire
I'm sure it's news.
recently near us. So we all had to like lower our gas temperatures
Well,
if you have gas.
we weren't required to, but we were
Right.
asked.
It was.
And because
a
we're
suggestion.
Midwesterners, we're like, oh, sure we will.
Oh yeah, you
You
betcha.
betcha.
Yep. Sure you
Except
betcha.
some assholes.
Yeah.
Like crank stuff up to 80 and
Yeah.
they're just
Screw
like...
that. I'm going to be the toddler here
Yeah.
and,
I'm gonna be
throw
warm.
my little
Yeah.
tantrum. I'm going to crank it up to 85.
But
and
man,
you.
the memes that come out of shit like that are
Yeah.
so good because they...
Amanda Reinhardt's was the best. Like, pay attention to the people that didn't turn their thermostat down because these are the ones you can't trust.
These are the ones
In
that
an
will turn on you.
apocalypse.
Yeah, it's so true.
That's
It
totally
is.
true.
Yeah.
They're the ones who will cut you for a bag of chips.
Right.
I mean...
Yeah.
It's true.
They will throw you under the bus. They will sell you down the river. They don't care.
Yeah.
I feel like
thing
that's
was don't you people realize that if we run out of pressure in the natural gas,
We
we're
all gonna be
all
fucked,
screwed.
yeah.
Right.
You know, not
It's
just
like, okay, we can all be a little bit chilly or we can all be absolutely frozen.
yeah. And while
I
the
know
whole
which one I
time,
want.
I was completely sure that we'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
because
yeah.
they went through the whole process of shutting down GM plants and
Uh-huh.
and all these big plants, and you know there was I've never really felt that it was going to happen,
Right.
but there was that part of me that was like, well, I'm going to turn my heat down because
right. You never
I'm
know.
not going to be the guy.
Plus, I don't know if somebody stands up and says like, "Hey, I'm asking you all to do something," you just kind of want to be like, "Yeah, sure, I'll do that."
Wow.
Like,
That's
this
fine.
is
I
a
mean, it
reason-
depends on who's
It
asking.
It depends on who's asking. It
if
very
it's
much
a reasonable
does.
request
Right,
for
yeah.
a reason
Yeah, that's the
that
thing.
is
Right.
relevant.
Yeah, it's not like they
I mean,
ask
it's
you to
not
turn
just
it
like,
off.
hey, everybody, I want you to all hop around on your 1 foot for a day.
Right.
Like,
Okay, well,
no.
I hope that my leg strength doesn't give out.
I'll tell you what, though, that 5 degrees really made a difference
Yeah.
in my house. I was cold.
It was pretty
I
cold.
was pretty cold.
I
cold.
slept
Cold.
amazingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I slept like
I
a
slept
rock.
better than I ever have.
Maybe you
I need to
should-
start
yeah,
turning
that's
my
what you'll
heat
have to
down.
Maybe you should start turning it down at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, does anybody else have anything they want to talk about in regards to how they've been?
I don't think so.
Latina.
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 I said not to do that. So let's
good.
move on to our next segment, Peeves.
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 Okay, well, going back to my peeve, I wanted to spring this one.
Oh, yeah?
Because one of my peeves is people who clap at like pre-recorded things like movies or planetarium shows.
Or light shows.
Oh, damn. She's going to call you out
damn.
right on this
Oh.
podcast.
I did it. I told you I had 2 fish bowls before. Like I was ready to party.
This
We're
was
pretty
okay.
trash.
So the way they did this light show is they played a song, and then there was like a couple seconds of silence, and then they started the next song. It wasn't like a medley. It wasn't like a
Yeah.
show
Right,
where
it
they
wasn't
talked or
45
whatever.
minutes full of Queen. Yeah.
Right. It was like one
was a
song,
hard
then the
song.
next. It was kind of like an album.
Yeah.
Between every song, it would have been
Quiet.
just like, that was awesome. Let's wait for the next song. But there was someone there who had just had 2
Look,
fish bowls.
I'm a natural born leader, man. People just follow me.
Like, ooh,
They
yeah.
do, though.
It's
yeah,
true.
like everyone
And then
went
everybody
crazy.
starts clapping.
But you notice which one they didn't clap after? Like, everyone was just, like, stunned at how
Yeah,
stupid
which
it was.
one was-
Flash,
Flash
Gordon.
Gordon.
Yeah.
Flash Gordon theme song. I thought it was cool, but like as soon as it happened, I was like,
Like,
Oh,
Cayenne
no one's
looks
not-
at me and she's just like, that was the weirdest thing
Yeah.
ever. She's just like crying.
I did too. I was just like, man, that was a really dumb song to pick.
no, it was cool.
When they did the though, there was like these cartoony figures along the bottom of the planetarium.
Yeah.
It just
And,
looked like they're screaming.
It was like a weird like Charlie Brown.
And there's
Yeah.
there's a part of the song where somebody's talking, it's like, destroy Flash Gordon, and there was like just like a person whose mouth is moving. I'm like, this is very out of character for this show.
Yeah.
So that was weird. But anyway.
Awesome. Yeah. So people who clap at movie theaters.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I clap at movie theaters.
I'm not
sometimes.
sorry,
I think
actually.
movies really, really good.
I can almost forgive the planetarium because, I mean, it was kind of fantastic and
Yeah.
whatever.
It made the
But
experience better.
movies.
Yeah.
Pisses me off
Seriously.
when people clap at movies or talk to the characters and they can't fucking hear you.
Like at
Stop
the-
talking to
like
them.
at the
Don't
end
go
of the
in
movie?
there. They can't hear you. They're going to go in there. It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
They
It's
already
a
going
horror
in
movie.
there.
Yeah, you keep those comments too when you rent it on DVD.
And
Yeah.
when you go to a stage show, which is live, and there's a big song,
Oh, that's
and then it
even worse.
ends. Well, it's a live show, so people clap, and you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, good! You're saying you did a good job on that performance." But if you're watching a movie musical, and the people who worked on it aren't there, if it's like maybe the director's in the audience or something, I could understand it. But that's
know.
not common.
I think I've only clapped at movies where we go to like the opening night. It's
Yeah.
the very first showing.
And it's a
and it was an
huge-
awesome movie.
like a Star Wars.
You mean like
or
at the
something.
end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
at
can
the
see
end
at
is
the
fine.
end. That's
then
Oh, okay. You think
Yeah.
people like
No,
clap in
no.
the middle of it? Like,
no, it's like something happens and they're like, "Wow, yeah, get them," or whatever. I'm
Like a moment of triumph. It's
Yeah.
I
like,
just
yeah, they
want to
finally
like dump
did it.
my bucket of soda on
So
their head.
where's your line here though?
My
Because like
line?
I mean,
where's the line?
yeah,
Where's the
because
Draw a
there's like
line in the sand and then make us dance.
I don't know what that is.
It's Rent.
It's red.
Oh yeah, I've only just seen that twice this last week.
Yeah.
So, but like if you get like an audible gasp, like you know what I mean,
I
like
feel like
through the
that's
whole
different. 'Cause,
No,
like,
that's different.
That's a moment of
Yeah.
surprise. You can't. That's an involuntary response, or like
Yeah.
laughter, or
or like
something.
a laughter
Right,
or a
laugh.
scream.
Yeah,
like,
like
that's fine.
yeah. If there's a jump scare and oh my gosh,
But some
whatever.
people just
but,
get so excited they have to clap.
I feel
Yeah.
like you can.
I feel
contain
like they-
yourself.
I've had some good moments in movie theater though. Like when we went to go see like either Solo or Episode 8 or something, and
Uh-huh.
of course it flashes on the screen like in a galaxy far, far
Yeah.
away, and someone was like, "I've already seen this fucking movie," like 'cause it's at the beginning of everything.
Yeah.
It was a good joke.
That's pretty funny.
One time it was during Incredibles 2. It's like at the very end.
Just
Spoilers.
watched that.
When Violet says like, "Yeah, but that villain won't do any hard time because she's rich." I literally was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Fuck yeah!" in the middle of a theater
Uh-huh.
full of kids. But I was,
kids.
but everyone was like, "Yeah, seriously."
I'm pretty silent in movies, but there was one movie that I wanted, A Quiet Place. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Oh,
I haven't
But that
seen
was a
that.
movie
I
that
have
I
not.
wanted to be.
didn't.
I wanted to be that person that was like, "Oh, don't do it! Oh no, don't go down!" I wanted to like yell, but because that movie is so tense and you just feel so strongly at every turn in that movie.
I haven't seen it either, but I had somebody who saw it in the theater. She's like, she felt like every time she ate her popcorn, she
Yeah,
was gonna
yeah.
kill everybody in the theater.
Was
Right.
the movie really that quiet? Like,
No, because there was a lot of sound effects and there's a lot of music, like not like music, but a score to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like
that's music.
it's not completely silent.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of scenes where they're like it's tense and they're like trying to be quiet and like there might not be any music and so they're like
So like the silence, like for effect.
right,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you're in the audience and you have popcorn, and you're like holding it and you're like eating it and then you have to stop it. Just wait. And then it starts
I
again.
really
You're like,
want
okay.
my Reese's Pieces at this point crinkled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crinkled,
It's like-
Open
crinkled.
that shit before the movie starts.
It's the rules.
At least
there
just
are
wait until
trailers
gunfight.
or during the loud parts.
Gunfight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
or, like-
plenty of loud spots in
Right.
movies where
Yeah.
you can open that shit.
Definitely. Moment of surprise. You're like, okay, now. Okay, stop.
Yeah.
Just open it before.
Or just
Yeah,
before.
Just open it
Or
before.
here's
You
the
know
other
you're going to
thing.
eat it.
He's like, open it. Don't try to be.
Don't try
to be
Just-
quiet about it.
Open
it's
it
like
and
a
get-
Band-Aid.
yeah.
One big rip and we'll be fine. A whole bunch of little.
Yeah, you're just dragging it out.
Right.
Dragging it out.
I'm gonna murder you.
So that is a very good peeve. I
That is.
agree with it emphatically. Peeve closed.
Nice.
Who would like to?
Peeve closed.
Peeve closed.
Achievement unlocked.
Achievement unlocked. All right. Who wants to go next? Clever girl.
Yep, I got one. So, we all went out last night. And I said,
Take me out
"Ooh, tonight." Says the
tonight.
guy who's like, I don't know what show that's from.
Okay, sorry.
So, and we go to the bar, and I had my 2 drinks, and I said, I'm not going to drink anymore because I'm really fucking hungry, and I'm going to go to Taco Bell afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to Taco Bell afterwards, and I think this makes number 3 peeve of Taco Bell.
Oh yeah.
Pull up, I order my food, I happen to order a Crunchwrap Supreme with no tomatoes.
With no tomatoes.
With no tomatoes, and add beans, but that's besides the point. So then, go up there, nobody's in the restaurant because
Yeah.
it's at midnight.
Yeah, it's
So
not
the-
busy.
The lobby's closed. There's nobody in front of me in the drive-thru. There's nobody behind me at the drive-thru.
Not busy.
No one. Get my food, start to drive away. Of course, pull it out, eat it as I'm driving, and all of a sudden I'm like, this
Has
has
tomatoes.
fucking tomatoes on
I
it.
hate that.
What? So, has anybody worked at a fast food,
I have.
I have.
like as a cashier
I
or
worked-
taking orders?
Yeah, as a cashier.
No.
I feel like it's not the cashier's fault because it said clearly on the screen. They say like, "Does this look correct?" It said no tomato.
So you think it's the cooks?
It was the cooks at that
Yeah,
point,
I would think it would be.
Okay.
I don't know.
would agree.
I've never worked in fast food, but
Yeah, if it says on the screen no tomatoes, that's how it's all connected. It prints to the, or not print, but there's a screen.
Well,
Right.
like McDonald's does have the little print slips.
Yeah, you get the chips.
Yeah.
The
What
what?
they're called, chips.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
So
shits.
you don't like tomatoes?
Well,
on
that's Taco
things.
Bell.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's like, okay, what if I was allergic to tomatoes?
And that's
And you just really fucked me over because I'm
legitimate,
eating it in the dark in my
Right.
car.
You can't see.
Right.
I
You
feel
only
like
can-
if I had an allergy, especially a deadly allergy,
You would
I would
check.
check
You
my
would be
food.
more careful about it, but at the same time, you go and you order a thing, you want
Yeah.
that thing. You don't want, like, if you ordered a Crunchwrap Supreme with no tomatoes and they were like, here's a taco, you'd be like, I ordered something and you didn't give it to me. It's
Right.
unacceptable. It's 2019.
So
in my opinion.
going to
I don't know.
getting your food the way
you
it's
do
been
know.
ordered.
I don't
You
know.
do know.
I always order no pickles at
Really?
McDonald's because I hate pickles.
You hate pickles?
Do they
hate
always
them.
put them on? Oh.
And like 50% of the time, there's a pickle on my burger. And this one time, I was just I was having the worst day. I was having none of it.
you?
I know, right? Imagine that. So I took
You
my
gotta
burgers
send it to
back
me.
up there, and I'm like, I ordered this with no pickles. And I watched the woman walk back to the kitchen, pull the pickle
No!
off, slap the bun back on, and try to hand it back to me. I'm like, no.
No,
bitch.
I just like
There's pickle juice all over that. Fucking
Yeah,
thing.
so
It tastes like pickles.
All right,
then
I got a couple
I-
things to add in.
Well, wait, one second.
But I
one
hand
second.
my
I'm gonna lose
Crunchwrap
them.
Supreme because I'm driving to Mr. Ed, Alex, and I'm like, please take the tomatoes off this so I can finish it. So not only do I now have Alex has fingered my Crunchwrap Supreme to get the
Wow.
tomatoes off.
I had
not the only
just
thing
washed
you
my
fingered
hands.
last night.
All right.
And now it still will taste like tomatoes
Yeah, it still
because
does.
it's on there. But you were gonna say,
Okay, go on.
Yeah, look.
Look.
These are just people.
Uh-huh.
I understand.
Yeah, I'm
Mistakes happen.
Yep.
But there was nobody fucking there.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you've never made a mistake without anybody there. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yes.
I mean, it's forgivable. It happens, but whatever. You know
It's
what I mean?
it's the nature of the peeve.
Yeah.
It's like, this is annoying. Maybe it's not anyone's fault, and it's
I
forgivable.
try not to be a
but I
dick
wish
about
that
it
it
most of
didn't
the time.
happen.
Most of the time, I'll pull it off.
I never
I'll
say
just
anything. I never
spread
take my
some
back
mustard
over
over
it.
it.
Yeah, it's
And
not.
it's
You're not
fine.
gonna make a fuss. Or
Now,
like, I
you're-
want to speak.
Here's the other thing with pickle juice, though. Yuck.
It's
gross.
gross.
Yeah, I don't
It's
like
tomato
everything.
juice.
Well, the ones, and this might be a peeve, but I don't know, bring it in. But like when you go to like a diner or something and you order a sandwich and it comes with a pickle spear on
Oh
the
yeah,
side,
and it
but
just
they
like
didn't tell you.
oozes like
Yeah.
onto your
But there's, like,
sandwich or
nothing
your
on the menu.
fries.
It's like,
And then like it gets the bun soggy
Yes.
underneath, and you're like, I have to hold this gross soggy
Yeah,
bun that's
I
falling
That's
hate
like
apart.
full of pickle juice that you
Yeah.
hate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't think it ever says comes with pickle spirit.
no,
Right.
no. Yeah. So they'll set it down and be like, no, grab the pickle, throw it across the room.
Like, I get the
take my
napkins,
napkin.
like-
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god!
Yes, I can't do it.
I mean, I love.
There's a
pickles
family
on
sitting on the other side, and the
but-
pickle just lands on their table.
I'm very sorry, sir. You don't understand. The pickle juice was about to go into my bun.
I wonder if there's a thing where the most commonly what do you guys think the most commonly requested thing off of a burger
I was thinking
is?
this too. I think it's no tomato.
You think tomatoes?
I
Yeah.
think tomato.
What about onions?
I would say those. I would say pickle,
Pickle-
onion, tomato
Yeah.
have got to be
Like top three?
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
You know,
for
and-
sure.
And I would even say that they, 33% of it. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty even.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I feel like you were going back to the allergic thing. You know what I mean? Do you think fast food restaurants, and I don't know if this is true or not, but if they specifically design their menus with things that people just aren't allergic to, you know what I mean? Like there's
Maybe.
no, like, is anyone allergic to tomatoes? I've never
Yes.
heard of that.
I think
I-
so, but I don't know if
Aren't
it's
tomatoes
serious.
part of the nightshade family? If
Something.
you're allergic to those, you're allergic to something else
Something
too.
acid in it and whatever.
It makes sense. I can see
But
it.
then there are some people who are allergic to raw tomatoes versus
Right,
they can
cooked.
have cooked
Raw.
ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There's
Like, I
something
don't
about
mind
them
cooked
being
tomatoes
raw.
at all because
Me
it breaks
too,
down
yeah.
the acid. I can't fucking stand a
There's
raw tomato.
there's something gross that I don't like about the
Oh, I don't like
texture,
the inside
flavor.
stuff.
Yeah, the
Yes.
inside goo that's holding the seeds in there.
I just didn't know if fast food technology has come that
Well,
far.
I
You
think
know what
I think
Well,
there's something to that.
Alex had brought up, okay, like, say he's allergic to strawberries and he orders a chocolate shake, and you know that it all comes
Yeah,
out of the
same
same
nozzle.
spout.
Same nozzle. So like somebody gets a strawberry shake, and
you
then
can definitely see that, like, whatever was in there before is on the bottom of your shake.
because I've definitely gotten like huge strawberry vibes from a chocolate
I
shake.
feel like at a shake, there's not really anything.
No, it's just the
real in
flavor.
there.
Yeah. So if you were allergic to
I
strawberries,
mean,
you're probably
maybe
fine.
don't go
Maybe
for dairy.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Yeah.
even that might be safe.
Yeah. Yeah, this
like
is
a
strawberry
non-dairy
flavored.
Dude, but there's like, I
It's
don't
not
know.
really a
This
milkshake. It's a
burger is
dairy
meat
flavored.
flavored.
Yeah, there's meat flavor. For me, it's onions. Like I don't like onions, especially because they are so overpowering in their flavor.
Yeah.
If you put even a single onion on a burger, the whole thing is just an onion burger. Like
an
there's
onion
nothing.
burger.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do
love
know
it.
it is very much
maybe
that.
Love
biting into
onions
it.
on
I don't
burgers.
understand.
I love
I don't
some-
like onions either.
So I always
But
get.
I'll eat
no
them if they
onions.
come out.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Like
like onions, but like I feel like the slivered onions at McDonald's aren't even
There's
onions.
I mean,
they're
that's-
like
that's why that's what I
silver
like.
Onions?
Yeah, I don't
Is
that what-
understand. I don't understand.
okay.
But I honestly feel like those are better because if I go to a restaurant and they give me like rings of onion inside, I'm like, I cannot eat this. I'll pick them out. But if I go to McDonald's and I say no onions and they give me those silvered onions, I'll be like,
yeah.
I don't like this, but
But you
I'm not
can't
gonna-
scrape them off.
yeah, you can't
like,
scrape them off.
No, because then you lose all your ketchup.
Oh, the ketchup. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You need that
Yeah.
ketchup. It's integral to the bun.
That's why I get so mad when they put mustard on, because I don't like all this stuff. Like I don't like, but
Yeah.
I'll
You'll eat it, yeah.
But when there's mustard on, there, I'm like, oh, you sons of bitches!
Yeah.
I really don't want mustard.
How could you do
I
this?
feel
I
that way
trusted
about
you.
mayonnaise
So I gotta like
too.
take the top bun and just kind of smoosh it all around,
Yeah,
so
to make
that
sure it's like
yeah,
even,
so you don't get one big bite of mustard.
Yeah.
Well, I very much agree with your peeve.
Yeah.
I will
It is-
definitely wipe down mayonnaise in a.
Oh, if they put too
yeah.
much
They put
on
too much
it.
on. I'm
Yep.
like,
Yeah.
I do not want like mayonnaise
Although
everywhere.
like
So
mayonnaise
gross.
like on one of the McChicken sandwiches, I'm like, give me all that.
No,
you know?
no,
Yeah.
no.
I don't mind lettuce on a burger, but sometimes they put so much lettuce on it that it's like a
That's
salad.
Burger King right there.
Burger King,
Too
yeah.
much- too
So I feel like I have
much
to just like, 'cause
lettuce.
especially when you have your burger and then it's protruding out the sides,
Right.
so I have to like peel around it and be like, now it's a burger. So that's annoying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stop doing those things, fast food places.
That's my peeve.
This is your
Peeve.
Close.
Yes, peeve closed. You got to say it like that. Peeve closed.
Peeve closed.
Would anyone else like to go next?
Yeah, I walked down to Deanna's house. Okay, I didn't know if we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they already introduced me. You
Yeah,
knew my
right.
name.
Yeah, the place of the recording, and because I live a block away,
Mhm.
and there's 5 piles of dog poo on the way, and of course our Midwestern area is covered with snow now, so the poop is just so contrasting.
Yeah.
You're like,
There's
oh,
no
what a
hiding
beautiful
it. Yeah.
snowy day, and there's some shit.
I mean, if it's fall,
You know what
there's a
that
bunch of
means?
leaves.
Whoever did that watched
Oh yeah,
their dog take a shit and didn't even bother to, like kick snow over it. I would do that.
Right, it would have been the easiest thing in
Yeah.
the world, right?
Seriously though.
I mean, but Alex brought up a good point. You know,
Uh-huh.
it is outside, and
Yeah.
maybe this is just like a dog that's just out. You know what I mean? That
Maybe.
got
Right.
off,
I
but-
feel like when
not
it's
a-
right next to the sidewalk
Yeah,
like
that's-
that, you know somebody's just
Right.
walking their dog. And I've watched them do it. They'll just walk, drop a load right there
Right.
next to my sidewalk. And then it's like every time I mow, I have to go out there and clean that crap up
Mhm.
because they didn't bother.
See, this is the real reason they made surveillance cameras, so that you can figure out
Catch
who
dogs
did it.
Who's shitting on your lawn?
Right?
Find out it's like a man.
Like, oh God, scarred for life.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not. I mean, I get you don't want to pick up poop, but
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't want to
that's the-
step it into my yard.
That's
either,
the joy of
Yeah.
having a dog. You
Right.
gotta
Yeah.
pick
You
up their
have,
shit.
yeah.
This
I
is
have cats. I have to scoop their shit.
Right, right.
It's
And this-
just what
And they
happens.
bury it too.
No, right?
That's beside it.
this is one of those things that like I've never understood because like I was saying, you're outside and outside is a gross, disgusting place. I don't see why this is like the line we draw where it's like, oh, we can't have our tamed animals pooing outside, but like wild animals do it all the time. Nobody cleans that up.
But wild
As-
animals don't do it where we are. though.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true,
Generally.
I'm sure. I mean, think about how much squirrel shit you have in your yard.
What does squirrel shit look like?
I
Does
couldn't tell
anyone
you.
know?
Probably
Probably
just
looks
like
like
dogs.
little rat pellet, like
Yeah,
mice,
like tiny.
just maybe
So
slightly
they're like
bigger.
little fiber pieces.
They're
Yeah.
like
no, I
the
think
tiniest
I think
things
it looks exactly like a squirrel looks. It's just a tiny little brown
With, like, the
squirrel,
curled
just
tail.
curled tail, and it just doesn't move, and it's just like, what? Clean me up. I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Well, I
I've
feel
never seen
like
Let's Google it.
I will Google it. I've seen a lot of
Squirrel
in my
poop.
day.
That's going in the Google search history.
Yeah.
I feel like wild animal poo in my yard kind of blends into my
Right.
yard.
You like don't.
Whereas a dog, 80 pounds, come by and just drops a huge load, and it just sits there.
mounds. Yeah.
And it
80
doesn't go-
pounds? That's a big dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are big
They're-
dogs.
I guess I was thinking of like little dogs.
Wow,
Yeah.
They
squirrel
still
poop.
take
I don't want to see this. Don't show me
I
this.
feel like it's
describe
runny.
it. No, it's not. It's actually very
Like a
clean
pellet?
looking.
Is it little
It's
tiny
oblong pellets, usually about 3/8 inches and 1/8 inch in diameter, with rounded tips,
I got a
slightly
picture.
bulging in the center.
No, well, that's respectable. That's a nice, respectable poo.
They just look
I
like
told you, they
big
look like mouse
poops.
pellets.
Looks makes sense.
Mouse poop.
So this is the kind of thing that you can expect to learn when you come and listen to Peeves and Qs. You come
When in
for your
doubt, Google it.
when in doubt, Google squirrel poo. But I understand though, it is a gross thing. Even if I think, yeah, you're outside. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Just, I guess what caught me off guard was just the obviousness of it.
Yeah, it's a very egregious thing. Like, I'm just going to let this happen and then just be like, all right, come along now.
Not my problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate that mentality, though.
Yeah.
So,
I get the guys that walk, I say guys, but I don't know.
People.
yeah, people.
That walk along my fence, and my dogs just go outside, and there's a doggy door, so they're in and out whenever they want. And they'll just walk by my fence so slowly to make the dogs will bark at them across the fence, and then they'll like let their dog take a pee on the telephone pole that's right there. It's like, will you just pass my yard so I can stop yelling at my dogs to stop yelling at your dog?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Move along, sir.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. When I walk my dog, I live out in the country, so I'm literally walking like by fields. There are houses on the other side of the road, and of course that's where my dog's gonna take a shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not picking it up because it's by the mailbox and or not like directly by it, but
right by the mailbox, you got the whole country.
but she, that's what she does, man. She'll I'm like, really, why in front of this house? Like, I know these people, and they know me. They know exactly where I am.
Yeah, there's no hiding out there. Like, you know who everybody is on your street, practically.
Yeah.
That almost feels different to me, though, because it's like, there's a difference between letting your dog shit next to a sidewalk and letting your dog shit in a
agree.
ditch.
On the side of the road.
Yeah, on a country road.
Yeah.
It just, there feels like there's a difference.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, yeah, I can go shit in the woods, but I'm not going to go shit in the bush in my backyard either.
Right.
Yeah, that's the whole city versus country living thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's a line there, and I don't like to cross that.
Definitely. Yeah.
And I can't help but look at it. I'm like, yep, dog's healthy.
Yeah. You're inspecting it.
Looks good.
You're like Jeff Gold. Or, what's the other one? The girl, the woman. What's her name?
Oh,
Jurassic
Ellie.
Park. Ellie, yeah. She's just like,
She's like
putting on
dives
gloves
in.
and like
Like,
checking
you
it out.
are gonna wash your hands before you eat anything.
Yeah.
Just one thing. I have to look at his droppings.
Dropping.
Puts on like the cowbird gloves all the way up to the shoulder.
Yep.
All right, well.
Peeve closed.
Peeve closed.
That leaves you.
That leaves me. And my peeve is something that I remember. And I will now tell you what it is. How you doing? How's it going?
Just say it.
Oh, I remember now. So my, you guys know about chips in cards? Like debit cards or credit cards or whatever.
Yeah.
They used to have just a magnetic strip and you would like slide it.
Right.
And
Well,
then
they still have that.
They still do have that. It's kind of recent, maybe within the last 2 years or so.
Yeah.
Started.
years.
I think it was 3 years. It was supposed to be everybody switched over to the chip readers, but it kind of took like a year longer than that.
So, my issue that I have is sometimes, or I had another card recently. I got a new one, and when I would plug in the chip, it would not work, and I would have to slide
Swipe it.
swipe it. Yeah. However, it wouldn't let you swipe it unless you tried the chip three times.
Oh God!
The problem is, I know it's not going to work. So I want to just slide it, but you can't until you do it 3 times. So I have to be like
the computer system won't let you
Right,
swipe it? Or
right.
the cashier is like, no, you
no,
have
it's
to
the
try it.
system.
Oh.
System.
No,
Even the
system.
even the cashier would be like, yeah, it's not going to work. You're going to have to do it 3 times and then slide it. And going through something you know isn't going to work repeatedly is one of the most
Especially if
infuriating
there's somebody
things.
behind you.
You know, you
Yeah.
can always call and get a new card.
I did.
Okay.
I have
I
a new
had
one
to
now.
do that too, but I didn't know because I'd go through the drive-through and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I'd hand them my card and I'm like, man, they're taking a really long time with my card. Like, I'm like, oh, their reader must be slow or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I finally went to the gas station and I'm like, why the fuck isn't my card working?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Right.
oh, okay, my chip's worn out.
Right.
Or it could be like my work where our chip reader, every time you use it, it will cancel the transaction. So we have to take, and it
What?
won't, exactly. You
And you can't slide it, so you have to write down
you
the
can't
numbers.
slide it because it'll tell you to use the chip reader.
Uh-huh.
So every time we run a transaction, we have to hand type in the card
Awful.
and
Just
the
awful.
expiration and
What-
the
now,
3-digit verification code.
So if you brought that up to the people Like, couldn't you get a new
I did try and call them, and I spent like 3 hours going through updates and processes.
Right.
But at this point, what we need to do is just be like, look, take your shitty equipment back and get us new crap.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff at work just drives me bonkers.
I mean, we
It's
don't
like,
do a lot of credit
Well,
cards,
and that's
but
the problem.
I mean,
though,
you know,
is 'cause
10
you
to
don't
15
do
a
it.
day. So
yeah,
it's like,
you don't do it so often, so it's like it's inconvenient, but it's not like crucial to the business.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things like I'm busy. When I'm at work, like I'm doing the stuff I need to do for work.
Yeah.
All this extra stuff
Yeah,
is
like
like,
when it
just
gets in the way.
Yeah, throws my day off.
I have this really weird thing where I expect like a business to be perfect, and I'll accept failings of like individuals. Like if somebody is typing in my order and gets it wrong or whatever, I'm like, yeah, that's something that happens. But when a company like doesn't provide the right equipment for workers or like stuff like that, I'm always like, you're an you're a company, you're a corporation. This is what you do. Make it perfect. I don't understand that.
See,
stuff.
I kind of had that. It was funny you bring that up because I was thinking about the whole turning the thermostat down to 65.
Yeah.
And people were like, well, this shouldn't have ever happened. I'm like, well, but this business was built by humans.
Yeah,
right? So,
who are
so a business is
failable.
going to have human characteristics.
Yeah.
Right.
Ish, you know.
And we haven't had weather like this since like the 20s. So,
Yeah.
you know, like that
Things aren't
low,
built
and
to
that's
be like
like,
this. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, there was just a
Well, what
huge
I'm saying is
demand
like,
and-
I think to expect a corporation to be 100% perfect is just impossible.
Well, I just think in some areas.
No, I think everywhere. Because it's built by humans.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
they can
listen,
provide the
if
right
Disney
equipment.
can get it right 100% of the time, everybody else can
Disney
too.
can
That's
not
right.
get it right 100% of the time.
When?
Princess and the Frog.
What about it?
There's a lot of
Hey,
bad
that-
Disney movies. That's not what we're talking about. Like, have you ever been to
100%
Disney World?
Princess and the Frog.
Princess and the Frog.
What didn't you like about it?
I don't know.
There were
Because
too
it
many
could-
black people.
Wow, no, that's
Wow. Wow, that's what you were thinking.
Jeez, Dwayne.
That's what you were
That is
thinking.
not what I was
Can't
thinking.
believe you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just
let's
love that.
see
You're
your
just like,
guts.
Let's move on.
no, but I honestly
I
do
don't know.
compare everything to Disney because they know how to do it right.
They know how to run a business.
Well, I went to Disney and I had to get one of our fast pass cards wasn't activated or something like that. We had to go wait in customer service. So I mean,
But
no,
did
that's
they
not
handle it like?
Well, sure, they fixed it, but I mean, every place. If you take your Taco Bell back, they'll fix it.
No, spit in it, but yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Now you've like broken my dream of how
I'm sorry.
perfect Disney World is,
What?
but
Wow.
okay.
because
I'm
his
just-
fast pass was broken.
Yeah,
Yes.
I did it.
No, but I'll
He's
tell you
never
what,
going
though.
back.
But they have figured out how to do that. The rides, you know, where you get the 3 fast passes. where
Oh,
you
I
get to go.
fucking love
That's
it.
great.
That's-
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was so good. We literally the entire day we were there, there was only one line that we had to wait
It was
in.
for fucking Aerosmith. Like,
The Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster, which was awesome when we finally got there.
yeah, guess who like almost bitched out? We like, you know, had spent almost
Don't
I'm
point at
guessing,
hour and a
I'm guessing
half.
it's Alex.
No, don't
Yeah.
point at me.
an hour and a half in this line.
Yeah.
And like we get up to the thing and like you get in the roller coaster and it shoots you off really fast.
Oh, yeah,
and he
yeah.
literally turned. He's like, I don't think I can do it. I'm like, you're getting on that ride.
I wasn't being serious, like I'm gonna leave. I
going
was just
through
like,
it.
that's very scary, which it was.
Yeah.
Because that ride just, bam, it's like a bullet.
No, I
See,
was,
because Disney does you get the 3 fast passes for everything, but there's the other parks where you can buy the bougie pass. You know what I mean? Where
yeah,
you get to
where
go
you get the bracelet.
yeah,
and it,
I'm
like, yeah.
dude, fuck you hard. You know what I mean? Like,
I remember when they first started doing that, my mother was so enraged. She's like, you can pay more money and go to the front of the line? That's
know.
not right. And I'm
yeah,
just
that's
like,
just that's the
That's
worst.
That's
capitalism.
our world
I
today.
mean, it is.
It
but
is a
that's-
rich
That's
person's
just like
world.
everything that's wrong with
every
the world
game
today,
you
though.
play,
I agree.
you
Yeah.
can, buy
Oh,
your little
yeah.
Pay to win. Yeah.
pay to
Yeah,
win, yeah.
yeah.
And I hate that crap. I'm like, no, I ain't paying shit.
Right.
Like, seriously.
I'm like, I will play this thing for 1,000,000 hours and not pay a dime.
Yeah, there are games that are like free to play, free to start, and then like you can buy to get better, and it constantly is pushing you more and more. Like, oh, pay more money, and you can like play this game. And I'm like, I'm not going to. I'm going to play within your rule.
But that's basically everything. You can
Yeah.
pay to have voice lessons, and then you're better than, you're more likely to get parts
That's work,
versus...
though.
That's true.
You're
though.
working for that.
I see
No,
that.
but like, say you have these two people equally as talented. One
Oh,
family's
yeah.
better off. This person's going to get voice lessons. They can now put that on their resume and whatever. So it's just
Well,
money makes the world go
that
round.
actually
That's
leads
true.
into a good question that I have. So do we want
Sure.
to move on to questions? Let's
Peeve
move on.
closed.
Peeve closed. Let's move on to questions open. So my question is, this is kind of an idea that I want to talk about, and I want to see how you guys feel about this.
Okay.
Let's say
I
there,
don't like it.
let's say there are,
it.
and I don't think
probably
we've
will.
talked about this before, but let's say there are two people who are the exact same talent level. They are both equally as good, but one of them was naturally born that way, and the other one was really bad at it and had to
We've
train.
talked about this, yeah.
Okay.
Not on the show, but
Right, and had to train really hard to get there, and now they're at the same level. You'd put, say, like on a scale of 10, they're both about an 8.
Gotcha.
Singing, let's say it's singing. Do you think that one of those people is inherently better than the other one? Not like quality-wise, but like, do you value one of those more?
what do you think?
I think no. I think the person who worked harder is probably better because they put in the effort. But a lot of people really put value on the naturally born. Like, oh, you have such a gift for this. You need to, like, and the person who worked, it's like, yeah, you worked to get here. Like, you had to make it happen. Like, you didn't. And I think that's wrong.
Isn't that the premise of Disney movies though? Is like it always follows the guy that really had to work. You know.
Well, I think
that's what they try to train.
I think it's the opposite.
Do.
I think it's always like this chosen one who's just born with a special power, who like has a training montage and that's it. Like all sports movies are like that, where it's like the team that trains super hard are the bad guys. Like they are so dedicated to their craft that it's like,
what movies
I was
are you?
say,
Karate Kid.
No,
The Karate Kid.
No,
It's the perfect example.
He trained and trained and trained.
He trained for like 2 weeks. The guys that he was fighting against were like their entire lives were just. That's weird. I don't know why that happened. The guys that were like that he was fighting against, the blonde rich kids, were like
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Cobra Kai.
Yeah,
the Aryans, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
the Aryans. Like their entire life was karate. They trained it daily, day and night. Where he was like, I'm only just getting into karate. I'm training once.
Yeah,
But he trained hard too.
Yeah, he did train hard, but like,
and he waxed on and waxed on.
I'm just saying it's weird that
I get what you're saying.
we do that.
I don't. I feel like that's unfair to the natural. Like, let's take the Cobra Kai thing out. You know what I mean? And just go with
the naturally
original
talented.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not your fault.
Right. I'm not saying that we should vilify those people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like, oh, who cares about you?
But there's definitely some kind of something to look up to for someone that's worked really hard to get to
Right.
a
Where
certain
they are,
position.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I mean,
Like if I had the
If it
choice
came
of
down
like
to-
working with those
Yeah.
two people, I would probably choose the person who worked to get there.
Yeah.
Because you know they're going to put in the effort.
The more they have the drive.
see, but that's where I think it's unfair though, because
It is a little
you
bit,
don't
you're
know
right.
that the person that just was natural wouldn't put the effort in.
That's true.
You know
That
what I
is
mean?
true. But like, it's like a job interview. If you can like say, here's all the stuff that I've done, you're going to hire that person. Whereas somebody else who comes in and says, I haven't done anything, but I feel like I could.
but
You're
I,
like, oh.
I can do this,
Well,
but you
it's
know
not
I
a
can't.
feel like I could go because you said he's already
'Cause they
reached
can.
the level. You know what I mean? They're already an 8 out of 10.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I'm saying somebody with experience is better than somebody with no experience.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, you get a lot of these celebrities in Hollywood that have just been like, yeah, I just kind of went on auditions and like didn't have any classic training.
Yeah,
or anything, and-
there are stories about people who audition and then like their brother accompanied them and then like they got the part or whatever
right,
and they
because
weren't.
They had more. Yeah,
I can't remember
natural talent.
who that is.
Probably Mark Wahlberg.
Maybe.
I love Mark Wahlberg.
No, we're not starting this fight.
Mark.
Oh yeah.
That guy can.
I will watch every movie he's in.
Even Transformers, whatever.
You're what's wrong with the world?
Oh, just me. Huh?
Wow.
Yeah.
So if I off myself, the world would be great, huh?
Finally, yeah.
I mean, in the war of Mark Wahlberg, yes.
Whatever, dude.
The War of Mark Wahlberg. The Wahlberg War. The Warburg.
The Warburg.
Nailed it.
Four Brothers. Oh my god, best movie ever. Loved it.
Well,
Four Brothers.
Oh, I thought you meant I thought you were talking about the Wahlberg brothers. I'm like, there's only 3 of them.
Oh no.
who's the third one?
Paul, he owns Wahlburgers, the restaurant.
Oh.
I thought that was Donnie.
No, he's from New Kids on the Block. And,
No,
and
he's from
Blue
Saw
Bloods.
2. Thank you
And
very
Saw
much.
2. And Saw 4.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Anyway.
so that's just how I feel.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's
I have
it's
no idea.
unfair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
You don't think that people do put one person above the other?
No, I think they do.
Right. I think
I
they
think
shouldn't. I think they should both be equal.
I do too.
Okay.
I agree. But I think it goes both ways though. I think someone will put someone with natural talent higher, but someone else would put someone
Yeah, it
that
definitely
worked
depends.
higher.
I think it depends on what your
Personal experience is.
or
that's probably right.
what the part
What the
requires.
skill is,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I think Deanna hit it on the head though. I think
it's personal experience.
If you've
Like,
had to work,
If
real
you've
hard,
had to work really hard to get to something, you're going to value
Someone else.
hardworking.
Right.
Yeah.
As opposed to if you're naturally talented, you're going to favor
Yeah.
the person who
Gravitate
has
one
the
of
natural
us,
talent.
one of us.
Exactly.
The chosen. Yeah.
Yeah.
We naturally group as social animals.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, audience, what do you think? Let us know. Email us at peevesandqspodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can tweet at us.
Or you can tweet at us at Peeves and Qs.
Okay.
Cool.
Done with that advertisement.
So that's
Question closed.
question closed. Topic closed, really. Who wants to go next?
I will. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of you guys have something you wish you could cook, but absolutely fail at every time?
I know what your answer is
God,
going to be.
That would require me to try to cook.
Yeah. Do you want to go first? Answer first?
Pancakes.
Pancakes?
Oh, not what I thought you were going
Straight
to say.
up cannot cook pancakes.
Really?
Well, hash browns as well.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
I've only actually ever tried to do hash browns, I think that one time.
Yeah.
But I've tried pancakes like a dozen times, and every single time they will either be burned, raw, or possibly both, and I don't know how I do that.
Your grill's too hot.
This is so funny because, like, I am the one that will not cook and I can't cook. But I cook a mean pancake.
Wow.
Every time.
So
I
who's
will
better?
Yeah. Well, I think in this scenario, him, because you haven't got there yet.
We are not on the same level. He's at like an 8. I'm at a 2.
But she can cook anything else. You just won't.
I won't.
Yeah.
Nope.
Have you tried?
Actually cooking?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
He had to do it for jobs.
There you go.
Yeah, but I mean, look, we discussed that. I worked at Applebee's.
yeah, but if you had to make dinner at
home.
home, if Nicole said, "Hey, can you make dinner for us tonight?"
I
didn't
would
give you
cook
like,
steaks.
it didn't like
Steaks?
tell you.
I would cook steaks.
Can you do that?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I use a meat thermometer. I cheat. But
Okay.
I
You
think,
do grill.
I think that everybody that grills
That's
should
cheating.
use a meat
I was going to
thermometer.
say, that's
Yeah.
using the tools that
It's
were
a
made
tool
for
provided.
Because
for you.
honestly, I mean, I can get pretty close, you know what I mean, without it. But when you use it, it's just the best. It's the perfect temperature. You know what I mean? There's just, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
Can't beat it.
So do you have one that you can't cook?
One that I absolutely cannot
Like that
cook.
you've tried and you've just like
well,
failed before?
not really, but I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
You know, when
Tell
I
me
was
of a cooking
younger,
disaster.
yeah, a cooking disaster story. It was my mom's birthday, so I was going to make her a cake.
Okay.
Right? And, I mean, so I'm reading the cookbook or the back of the bag or whatever it
Back
is.
of
You
the
know,
Duncan
sure.
Hines
yeah,
box.
right. And, like, in 2 cups of sugar or whatever. I don't know how much sugar goes in it.
A spoon.
Well, we didn't have sugar. We had powdered sugar. I'm like, it'll work.
Oh,
I put it in there. The cake was about a 1/4 inch tall.
Yeah.
And tasted terrible. So
Wow.
that's like,
So
I'm like,
funny.
it's got sugar in the title. It'll work.
I do love powdered sugar.
That's the ultimate of like just cheating.
Yeah.
You're like, this will work, but it won't.
It does not.
No, it did not.
It betrays you.
I'm sure if I had a cookbook and like, you know, all the
And
proper
actually
ingredients.
follow
you know, I could
yeah.
do that because I'm very good at following directions.
Yeah.
I can
You know,
I can do that too generally with following a direction, but for some reason actually
Pancakes.
getting to cooking pancakes, I just
Yeah.
It's so weird.
fail every time. And I'm like, I've Googled it. I'm like, how hot do you get the griddle? And they're like, take a little bit of water and flick it on there. If it sizzles, it's right or whatever. And I'm just like,
It's all in the
every
batter
time.
too. Like you have to get the batter right.
Yeah.
Well, and the thickness of the pancake has to be right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So
Yep. It's a lot.
next time we
it's-
go on the tube trip, we'll cook pancakes and I'll take you under my wing.
All right.
thank you. I've sat there and watched Gil. He's like pro at it. And I'm just like, just
What about
I think I can cook anything except quinoa.
quinoa?
Oh, it's because it shouldn't be cooked. It
I
sounds
know.
gross.
You think so?
Oh, I hate it.
Huh.
It's like just,
I don't. When someone
like
else
rice.
cooks it, I
Just like
like
rice.
it's
it.
not just like rice. Rice you can chew. Quinoa, you get it stuck in your teeth. It's like hard. And,
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's like fun. It's like an adventure. You put it in your mouth and you're
I
like,
don't
oh,
mind
I got
it.
an
It just feels
explosion
like
of weirdness.
little
But
tiny
like
round
rice is hard
Yeah.
to cook too,
And I just
unless it's
hate the
minute rice.
name.
Oh, I don't have a problem with rice.
Yeah.
Rice is easy.
Well,
Oh, I'm
Right.
having some quinoa. Mm.
But I've tried it multiple times and I just fuck it up every single time.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
weird. I think we.
That and Spanish rice, I can't get.
Oh, I
Spanish
love
rice.
Spanish rice.
Oh, I just used the box.
Well, that's what I mean. Even the box, I fuck up the box. I just can't do it.
I mean, that's literally like add water, right?
It's like add water
Listen,
oil
you
for
would-
3 minutes
you
and
would
then throw
think.
the lid on it. It's like the easiest
See, I cook
thing
hamburger
ever.
helper like a boss.
Well, yeah, me
Wow,
too.
there you go.
Yeah, nope, can't do it.
Can't do
I do
quinoa.
it all in one pan. They tell you to use 2, but I don't.
Wow.
I
That's
don't either.
cheating.
Why would anyone do that?
Because I don't know. Because whoever's writing those directions doesn't have to do your
Do you
dishes.
drain your-
They work
grease?
for the pan company and they want to sell
They do.
more pans.
Do I
Do
drain
you
my
drain
rice?
the grease? Like you cook the burger, do you drain the
I mean,
grease?
just as much as I can, you know, like,
Good.
but
Some people don't, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with
No.
you? Yeah.
Oh, no. That's,
Yeah.
because then you get that weird, like, coating taste when you eat it.
Exactly. And it like sits on top when it's sat there.
And, I mean, I still get that a little bit, but
I've seen people do that with tacos too.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing?
Orange
just drips out.
Yeah.
See, I don't think Nicole does with tacos. I don't think she drains the grease because we get greasy ones.
I think, I think you're right.
She said she didn't want to call her out, but she was like,
but your wife doesn't drain her grease, or at least she doesn't drain it well.
You heard it here first.
Right.
I almost strain it like too much, and then it's like dry him. But I don't care. I don't want all that grease. Yeah.
Yep. What can't you cook?
What can't you
pretty
cook?
good at cooking.
Yeah, I don't.
We tried mashed potatoes once, and it did not turn out well.
I don't meth. You're good at cooking meth.
Yeah, I'm great at cooking meth. I don't cook a lot, but when I do, it tends to be easy. I'm good with stuff that has like a wide window of operation, like, oh, take this out between like this or this. But pancakes are one of those things that's very specific. If you don't flip it over at this time, this exact minute, it will be ruined. So pancakes are hard.
Or ruin it, please.
What?
Ruin it.
Ruin it.
It'd be ruined.
What are you saying?
Saying somebody's...
But the other thing is eggs for me. Those are also very specific, narrow window of time. If I don't, I burn eggs a lot because if you don't flip them at the right time, it's bad. So
Nicole always makes fun of me. I'm like, how do you cook scrambled eggs? She's like, really?
We've had to teach you, yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
I remember when we went to cook or make scrambled eggs and you were just going to crack it and put it on the drum. I'm like, no, you have to mix them first.
That's a way of doing it. I've done it that way, where you just crack it into the pan and just stir it up in the pan.
No.
You don't
this
get
was like on a grill, though. Like, there's no way you can do that.
Like a skillet.
What were we cooking where we almost set the house on fire?
Bacon.
I'm like, it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
And I'm like, no, we're going to die.
And then it's a grease fire.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, there's no way. You don't have a fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
In an emergency, just don't panic.
He was like, let's not panic. I'm like, no, we're panicking right now.
So.
Yep.
We're all not great at cooking some things.
That's right.
Topic closed.
Question closed. Cool.
Well, I thought it was topic. All right.
What? It was topic when I was doing the topic.
Is there something?
Okay.
All right. Well, what do you have a question about?
Well, mine is kind of self-answered almost.
Okay.
So it's a question I really don't even need you for.
Oh, wow. Let's just shut it down then.
To know.
Right.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah. I was just wondering if, and this is something in my life, like, do you have friends from school still?
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Like, this is a great question.
Our group does. Like, it's like 7 of us.
20 years going.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Like, we're solid, too.
But that's just like, I guess it's something I didn't realize people didn't have.
Right.
You know?
Some people just get out of school and they're just like, bye, everybody, and then they make new friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then other people just find their tribe in high school.
And that's just weird to me.
And
the people that, like, just, because, I don't know, that's who I grew up with. You know what I mean? So,
you're lucky enough that they all, like, a lot of them did stay here, too.
But
or have moved and came back.
That's really what it was. Like, nobody really stayed here.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But you've had that.
You guys moved and came back. I'm basically the only one who's stayed, really.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's going to be me, man. Just going to stay where I'm planted. Yeah.
So, I mean, I know Deanna's answer.
Yeah.
She's one of those friends of mine.
Yeah.
So
it is so nice to watch you guys, and like when you start talking about high school, I'm always just like, yeah, I can't contribute, but
Right.
But it is.
But
it's
got some
nice.
good stories, too.
It is true.
It's nice to see. I wish more people had that.
Yeah.
I do have one friend that I had in like middle school, and she lives in Ohio now, but like we still like see each other. We like we're
is that the one you brought to the tubing trip?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And
What?
She did. She still does.
She did until
until she got married. No,
The incident.
Until the incident.
No, but yeah, like her and I don't know. I guess I consider Alex. We were technically high school sweethearts, even though I was in college. It's
I was in high school when we met, but
Jody is 50. Alex is 12.
Gross. But we didn't go to the same high school at all. So I
Which
almost don't.
Like, how far away were you? Like high schools, neighboring cities, or
I'm in Flushing.
Flushing,
Yeah.
Ohio.
So-
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess I could have used my brain.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
meh.
But I like knew Alex's friends before I knew Alex while I was in high school.
That's
and like because we did shows together at the theater, and like so it's just kind of like a big jumbled up mess that I do know everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
And I even knew like Woods, L in high school.
Uh-huh.
But yeah.
Yeah, for me, a lot of my friends I knew in high school. Connor, who's been on the show a lot. I met him in high school. We were friends. Tyler, who was also on the show,
Doopy,
and
all of
Doopy.
them.
Well, Doopy, I've been friends with ever since I met him. Tyler.
Usually.
Yeah. When did you meet him?
Well, in high school.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I thought this was like a before school even.
Oh no, in high school. But
we were
Tyler
toddlers together.
What's that?
We were toddlers together.
No, Tyler, I met and we were in school together for a while. Well, until school ended, and then we just like stopped hanging out. And then I was still friends with Doopy, and he was hanging out with Tyler. And then he was like, "You want to hang out with Tyler?" And I was like, "Wasn't he the guy from high school?" So we started hanging out again. And then we've been friends ever since. But yeah, a lot of my friends I met in high school. But then like there's the theater group who's been on the show a lot, and
Forever.
I met them. I met them later after high school, but they're cool.
Yeah, I wish I kept more of my friends in high school, but I'm not going to put in the effort if you're not going to.
Yeah.
So,
My group of friends from high school kind of morphed a little bit because I started out high school with kind of a group of friends, and then it morphed a little bit into theater
Yeah.
towards the end. And like, so my sister is 2 years younger than me, so we were good friends. And then, so all of the younger theater people who followed with her, I'd hang out with them after I left high school. So,
Creeper.
a little bit.
listen, sometimes you just have to, like...
No, that line comes, where someone graduates and, you've
And then
been
you're
friends
hanging out
forever.
with high school
It's like, no,
friends.
sorry, you graduated.
Yeah.
You can't hang out.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, other than you and Amanda, there aren't too many that are much younger.
Yeah, I don't think so. I
No.
think I'm on the younger side.
You're on the younger side of the group.
Yeah.
But,
And better looking.
yeah.
But definitely after high school, I went through a Facebook purge where I was like, I know I'm never going to see any of these people again, and I don't care about them in
Get
any way.
out.
So,
I only did that with a very, very select group of people.
Yeah.
Do you ever run into that person from high school? You're like, ooh, I just don't remember you.
Oh,
at all.
Oh, yeah.
Like we graduated together. I'm like, I'm
No,
pretty sure I was there, and I don't remember you at
everybody,
all.
yeah.
No, I've definitely run into people I haven't seen since high school, and they're like, "Hey, Alex," and I'm just
That's
like,
me.
I don't want to have this.
I'm that guy.
We don't need to do this.
I'm like, oh my god, I know you.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know from where.
Yeah,
But I do.
I get that a lot. I'll see people in the wild that I'm like, you could be from
the
one of
wild.
like 4 places, and I don't
That
know
is funny
what.
because, like, a lot of them are from, like, Show to Go or whatever. So they know Alex, but they don't. And, like...
Right.
If it's an older person, I assume it's from the theater.
Yeah.
If they're around my age, I'm like, we might have went to high school together, and I just don't remember.
I remember, like, I usually remember everybody. And then I feel like people won't remember me. Like, I have a ton of people that were in the show Chicago.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I bet you have no idea I was in that show.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they come into the office or whatever, and I'm just like, I bet you have no idea who I am.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll tell you later, but yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Back when I worked at Kmart, I would be around just the open floor every now and then, and so I would run into a lot of people who would shop at Kmart, which is just local everyone.
And you went to school in that.
And I went to school in that same city, so like there'd be a lot of people, and there'd be a lot of people from like the theater who would know Jody, who I don't know. So what would happen a lot, this happened like once, maybe twice a week, people would be like, oh, hey, Alex. And I'm like, hi, I don't know who you are. And they're like, how you been? I've been good, but you can't be like, I don't know you. And eventually it comes to like, how's Jody? And I'm like, how do you know me and how do you know Jody? Like, what is this? It's usually like a theater person who knows Jody and knows me from Facebook, and they just forgot that I don't know them. Or maybe I forgot that I knew them.
I was doing a sales call one time trying to sell a billboard to a chiropractic place in Clio.
Uh-huh.
And I went and they're like, you're that guy.
You're the guy.
Yeah. And I'm like,
yes, I am.
I'm like, if that means you're going to buy something, you bet your
You
ass
bet.
I am.
Where did they recognize
From
you
the theater.
Oh, from
They're
the
like,
theater.
you were the
okay.
cowboy. And I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
I was.
Because- well, do you know why?
My
No.
hero.
That's-
Ah,
The chiropractor.
Okay.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
That's why.
When it comes to recognizing people like in the wild,
Yeah.
I'm like the worst because I kind of recognize people as far as like faces, but I have a hard time matching names. to
Yeah,
faces.
me too.
Oh,
This
yeah,
happened the
terrible.
other day. Like one of the, I work in a dealership, and the dealership world's kind of small and funny because like every once in a while, everything will shake up and everybody will switch dealerships.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
everybody from every dealership. You're like, oh yeah, that person went to this dealership and this person went to that one and
Yeah.
they work over there now and they used to work over here. And it just like, they shuffle and they just mix up jobs every once in a while.
Weird.
And this guy came in and he's like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, and I recognized him. But I actually thought he was somebody else. I was talking about working at a different dealership than the one we worked at together. And I'm like, and then he was like, wait a minute. No, I didn't work there. And I'm like, wait a minute. Who are you? And then he told me his name and I'm like, oh, crap.
Oh, you're that guy.
I'm that person who
That's
just
awful.
didn't even, I was like, oh, I thought you were someone else.
Yes. That'll happen though.
You ever been like so confident that you call somebody by the wrong name, but you're like, no, your name's Jim, and it's like Jeff or something. It's like something super close, but you're just like, ah. Yeah.
There's one guy at Nicole's work I do that too. Hey, Roger. Like, my name's Daryl. Just because I'm that guy, I will just come out.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like, hi, how are you?
There really are certain situations where the more confident you are, the better. But then it's like,
But then you get hit hard.
There's other situations where the more confident, like if you recognize someone and you're like, "Hey, Roger." Okay, yeah, Roger, that's fine. But if you're like, "Roger," and they're like, "No," you're like, "I'll just kill myself."
Nicole's so funny because she recognizes people like in an instant. You know what I mean? But she won't tell me because she knows that I'll be like, hey, bud, what's going on?
And then walk away. Who the hell was that?
Nicole's like, he's been in prison for like the last 5 years. I'm like, oh, whoops.
Well, how was prison life?
Glad you're out.
Yeah.
Hope it wasn't too bad a crime. See you later.
Did you make any friends?
Change the locks on the doors when we go.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so good question. Whose question?
Question
is that? Is it yours?
Dwayne's.
Okay. Do you have a question?
I do.
Would you like to hit us with it?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it.
Yeah.
What is something that you didn't get... See, this is really hard. What's something that you missed out on, maybe in like a different decade or like time in history that you wish you could have lived through?
Oh, yeah.
I have two that come to mind. Of course, we saw Queen last night and the whole Bohemian Rhapsody movie just came out and stuff. And I'm like, man, I wish I was around when Freddie Mercury was a thing. Cause that just seems
the
like
70s rock scene would have been awesome.
Yeah, I'm like that just seems like something really cool that I would love to be around for and be like, yes, I did know this person and blah, 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 blah. Another time also, I wish I could have like actually grown up in the 90s where it's like that grunge that like...
Yeah.
Oh, where you weren't just young.
Yeah,
Right.
where I was just like, I'm literally just like forming myself. Yeah. So those are two things I'm like, man, I wish I could have lived through that and I wish I could have lived through the 90s.
I lived through the grunge. It was not a good thing.
I just feel like I would have really liked it.
Well, it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Yep, I had the flannels and everything.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was not good.
See, I'm so straight edge that I would have missed it anyway.
True that.
Like, I would have been like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
that's a good question. Like, I'm trying to think about what I would have liked to have been around for. I really like 80s rock and roll, like classic.
You would have done very well in the 80s.
Yeah.
I can already tell.
I wish that I'd been like, I would say, like early, born in 1970. So, well, no, 1965. So that I could be like,
actually grow up through the 80s.
be like in my 20s, like
20,
late
yeah.
20s or mid 20s. Yeah. By the 80s. Cause then like when rock and roll was happening, I'd be like, yeah, rock and roll instead of like, yeah, rock and roll.
Yeah, I understand because that was me with the 90s. I'm like, yeah, the 90s are sweet. Like Disney.
I was trying to predict what would be a good age to be born. Because I think like if I were born in 1970, I would be 7 years old when the first Star Wars movie came out. And that'd be a good time to go see the first Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Just be like, whoa.
Can I just be like perpetually like 23?
Yeah, exactly.
Throughout all of them.
All of history.
Right.
I think
Like
23
born-
is even too old, though.
I wish that I could have started.
23, I think I was
I'd
young
say
enough
20.
to enjoy everything.
Yeah. Like, if I could be 23, I'll say born the year that Titanic sank, but I'm 23 when I was born. So I could appreciate that, and then all the stuff that happens with, like, the world history, like World Wars and all that, I could be like, I'm here for this, I'm understanding it, instead of, like, learning in the past.
Yeah.
Well,
And then,
all right,
like,
let's put that on its head, though, right? So,
Okay.
what was happening when you were 23?
2 years ago for me, it would have been, I don't know, Trump stuff.
Yeah.
Which, that is history, and I'm
history
in
is...
quotes, glad I'm here to see so that I can have the story.
I was gonna, when we all answered this, flip it on its head and be like, what's something you're glad you didn't have to go through? Right. I'm glad I didn't grow up in the time of the AIDS epidemic. I'm really happy I didn't have to do that. I'm also really happy I didn't have to grow, or live my young adulthood without fucking GPS, because life just seems impossible without it.
You can learn to read a map.
Well,
I know, but
I feel like we get places a lot faster right now.
That's true, yeah.
And you told a story last night that you went to a town for a lock-in or whatever, and all of a sudden the girl that you went with left. Yeah. And now you're you have no idea where you are, and your parents had to find you.
Right.
That's scary. Yeah. Now you have a phone, and you're like, oh, I'm in this town or whatever.
You're like, I can just ping you my location and send it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, GPS is a great thing. I love GPS.
Yeah, but that's something I'm glad I didn't really have to live without.
Are we doing eras with this question?
You can do whatever you want.
Because I think although it would suck to live in medieval times, because of just life, but that'd be a super cool time to be around.
Seriously,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think a lot about how if life were designed for a specific thing, we've beaten it, and now we're all living in the post-credit scene that just never ends.
I wonder if other people felt that way too.
Maybe, but you could discover things in the past. I feel like the only stuff you can discover now is huge theoretical science and physics and stuff, which is
but isn't that the
super
same
advanced.
thing?
But I mean, you could just explore in the past. You could just get on a ship, even if you were nobody. You could just get on a ship and be
I discovered land.
Yeah, and be like, I'm going to call this land Alex, Mr. Red World, or now or whatever.
No. Because a ship back then is the same as a spaceship now.
Yeah, but people aren't getting in spaceships and going to planets, and people have already discovered all the planets, and we know what planets look like. All that stuff is done. Sure, we haven't landed and set up shop there, but that's in the future. I'm saying right now is a very weird time where it's there's nothing new to discover. The stuff that we have yet to discover is very far off, so now we're just kind of waiting around. There is the internet.
I'm always discovering that human stupidity is boundless.
That's true. That is true.
For real, though.
I think there's still plenty of discoveries to make. But
for sure.
Name one discovery.
Well, if I could name it, it's not a discovery.
Technology will be. I asked this the other day. I'm like, what are our kids gonna or even our grandkids are gonna discover that we're gonna be like, what is that?
Yeah. I think about
with computers.
That Ready Player One movie. You know, that was that's a whole part of the world, the human, it's gonna happen. You know, you're gonna live in a VR world, and
exciting.
That's gonna be pretty awesome, actually. Yeah, but I don't. I lost where I was going.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just keep talking. Eventually it'll come back to me. But even the other day, we were talking about cars or something, and our kids are going to be driving. I'll punch in where I need to go, and my car will take me.
You actually had to steer this thing?
Yeah.
Right.
You have to steer this thing.
You have to use your hands
have to pay
on that?
attention and drive.
That sounds dangerous. Didn't people die all the time? Yeah, they did. All the time. Yeah. It was a very stupid invention.
Which is funny because we're kind of going backwards as we're going forward, because cowboys, they get on the horse and the horse would just go home.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we made a horseless carriage.
Could you drive horses drunk? Could you go to a tavern and just be like,
everyone was drunk back then. What are
even
you
the
kidding?
Horses? Yeah.
Probably.
Right.
No, I'm sure that if you took your horse out, to town, and then at the end of the day you just climbed up on that thing, the horse was like, well, I'm going to bed.
Yeah. It's you can tag along if you want. I'm going home. Yeah.
That's like carrier pigeons. They know where home is. That's why. Yeah.
And now we're going back to cars that we just get in and then go.
Yeah. Pretty soon they'll start shaping them like horses, and it'll just be full circle.
That'd be uncomfortable.
It would be very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to ride a horse all the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would.
The whole notion of the driverless cars thing is super cool to me.
Yeah.
Because then I just picture the highways where it's just bumper to bumper, and everybody's just going 150 miles an hour.
Yeah, almost like
it's like a train kind
of. Like
you link up.
Like at Disney World, the
monorail?
The monorail, yeah.
Actually,
that's exactly what I think.
They probably would do stuff like that because it would save energy to be like, I'm just going to, since these, they can use math and computers to determine, these cars are going to be in this. Yeah, kind of. But let's just magnetically attach these two cars together.
They're going to the same
because they're going towards the same location, even if they break off later.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And it all goes back to human stupidity. You just rule that out of the equation, and it's 100 times safer.
Right.
And like when a light turns green, it's like
But
the first person goes, and then later the second person goes.
You know how much wasted time there is?
So much. Like instead, if the very last person could go at the same time as the first person.
And that's what it's going to be like. It's just going to be this whole movement of cars.
It's going to be so weird.
To be in a skyscraper and watch the traffic is just going to be cool.
Yeah, and cars are going to just like split off on this exit, this exit, this exit.
There probably won't even be stoplights anymore.
Probably not, because it'll just be like
you
zippers.
Just communicate
like,
with this car.
Yeah.
This car slows down, lets you go first.
Right. Yeah, like the zipper is probably
zipper
exactly what it would be.
Man, I can't wait.
Man, I wish fucking humans could get that down.
Right. Wouldn't it be cool though if you
I
had
just
your
wish
car...
semis would stop passing me on the shoulders and pushing me off of plowed roads.
I mean, that's true, yeah. But if like your car could connect, like say you were meeting up to go, like I don't know, to Detroit or something like that, and we come on 75 together, boop, and then like your back hatch opens, your front hatch opens, so
then
it's
we can have a party.
Oh yeah,
it's
and
like a one car
meet
party.
up.
Yeah, that'd be super
I've seen
cool.
it where like people will turn around and they'll start like playing cards with the automatic driving.
Why not? I always hate when there's a news story that's like, "Ooh, an automatic car crashed and all this," and like somebody died.
We're gonna have...
see, they're not safe. It's like
it's like this is
it's a learning curve.
This is a single incident out of however many driverless cars there are, compared to like the huge percentage of drivered cars there are. But people get scared.
You might actually save time by going go slower.
Yeah.
Because of the stoplights and the zipper effect, you know what I mean? You might stay at lower speeds and still make it at the same amount of time you would if you were going
probably, speeds.
I feel like people get scared of it because they're not in control.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I understand that completely.
We kind of live in a society where people think bad things happen to people who deserve it or did something to make it happen to themselves.
If something bad happened.
Anything that happens, people will look at it and try and place blame.
Right.
Absolutely.
This happened because you did this. This happened because you did this. If you're in a driverless car and you get in an accident, it's hard to find blame.
Right.
So you blame the car.
Or you
blame the technology.
Because people, whenever something scary happens, you want to understand it.
And you want to figure out, how can I stop this from happening?
Right.
So you got to try and put control back in your own hands.
It's like whenever I get in an airplane, I'm always like, I'm not in control of this, so I'm very scared because like I can't make this happen properly.
Right. If something goes wrong, there's nothing you can do to fix it.
Right.
Yep. To make it better, to make it not happen again.
So it's scary.
Yeah, shouldn't we have like parachutes just all the time?
It seems that way, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem like we should?
I mean, and why not have parachutes?
I wonder if they're very expensive.
Right to the back of the seat.
Right?
Yeah. Like as part of the seatbelt.
As high up as you are, if you jumped out of that plane, you'd die. You'd freeze to death.
No, I don't believe that.
I don't know that you would freeze to death, but you would pass out from lack of oxygen.
That too.
Well, they can come with oxygen tanks. I don't know. They could figure it out. It's 2019.
That's what I'm saying.
Resources.
Yeah. I mean, if you can put a stupid floaty raft thing underneath my Midwestern, like from Michigan to Arizona, where there's not a whole lot of water. I'll take
those Great Lakes, man.
Yeah. Can I take the parachute option?
Well,
like this does me literally no
good.
Those,
like the life vests, that are real thin and they look like suspenders that you put on. I'm like, those are the coolest thing ever. Like those, but integrated into the seatbelt straps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think I missed out on. And that's what I would want.
Is there anything else that you think that you missed out on that you wish you could have?
I mean, drugs, right?
Drugs, right? What do you mean?
Well, when drugs was like, I'm going to say okay to use.
Right.
But when
it was a lot more free form.
Yeah, well,
or
it wasn't, it wasn't the drugs that'll kill you, like, instantly.
Oh, like everything wasn't laced with fentanyl.
Yeah. But, like, when you could actually, like, I don't know, and I've only just ever heard of these stories.
Pot.
Yeah. Like, in the 70s or 60s or whatever, you just go and chill with your friends.
As a very,
I've never done drugs.
Yeah. But like, there's a lot of appeal to the 70s. Sure, there was a lot of like drugs and sex and things that were like harmful, but there was also like people were more just okay with things. I feel like
I don't know, I wasn't there.
I feel like in the Reagan era, and then it's like kind of lasted ever since.
There's the war on drugs.
Yeah, there's a huge conservative movement where it's like back to family values and like anything that's transgressive is like look down on that. And I think
See, now does that come with a caveat though? Like, it'd only be cool to be in medieval times if you were like a rich white
That's
person.
true. That's
Right.
very true.
That's true.
Because like life,
There's pros and cons to any era.
right.
Yeah.
Even if you were a rich white person in the past times, you're still not living as well as like even most people today. With like air conditioning and refrigerators.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, if you were a peasant in medieval times, no.
For real.
Like, why would people do that? Why not just die?
Hats off to the person that invented the refrigerator, though.
Oh,
For real. For real.
Lifesaver.
Yep.
Cool.
Gotta go down the river, cut my ice block.
Yeah, cut my ice block and drag it back home so I can throw a fish on there and keep it for longer. Figure for an extra day. Put some salt on it.
Die at the age of 43.
Yeah, that's why people didn't live long.
Yeah,
Right,
all that salt.
All that salt
All
and
that
meat. They all just died of hypertension in their 40s.
Probably.
Hearts
Well, guys,
explode.
this has been truly an episode of Peeves and Qs. If you want to keep listening, we're on iTunes and everything on Peeves and Qs. Oh, we also have a YouTube channel where all our episodes are now hosted, so if it's easier to listen on YouTube, you can do that. We don't have a URL, so I can't say YouTube/Peeves and Qs, but if you type in Peeves and Qs on YouTube, you'll find it.
For sure.
We're also on Twitter at Peeves and Qs. We've said all this, and there's email Gmail at peevesandqspodcast@gmail.com. So longer form. Send us in your own questions and peeves and Qs. There.
Qs and questions.
Qs and questions, whatever. Yeah.
Aren't those the same things?
Yeah. Basically.
So, what else does anybody want to?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter at clevergirl, the letter F and the letter X.
On Twitter, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm at Mr. spelled it the long way, Red2342. That's Mr. Red2342.
You can follow me in real life.
Yeah. Where?
Because you're a natural born leader.
But you gotta find me.
You gotta find me. That's the entry level test. All right, so like, comment, subscribe, tune in next week. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Happy Groundhog Day!
Happy Groundhog Day!
Yeah, it's a sham.
Just like Valentine's Day.